In the realm of pop culture, few stories have captivated audiences as deeply as the iconic saga involving Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, and Justin Timberlake. This narrative is a mosaic of youthful romance, star-studded connections, and headlines that have enraptured millions. As the sun rose on a fateful Tuesday, Britney Spears unveiled a new chapter in her life through her latest book, A Woman in Me. The entertainment world is still reverberating from the shockwaves this memoir has created. In this raw and courageous account, Spears bears her soul with unparalleled honesty and vulnerability, finally allowing her untold story to emerge from the shadows. As it happened, Justin wasn't quite the saint he seemed to be. He cheated on Britney first, and with more than one woman. That's not even the best part. Later on in his career, he positioned himself as the injured hero, further solidifying that narrative. To add even more intrigue, it is believed that Britney's longtime nemesis Christina Aguilera was one of the people Justin cheated on her with. But wait, this fascinating tale has more to reveal. Britney Spears reveals a highly personal and heartbreaking chapter of her life in her engrossing memoir. When she was just 19 years old, and in the midst of her brief but intense relationship with Justin Timberlake, she had to make the painful decision to have an abortion. She reveals her personal pain and the crippling anxiety that seized her at this crucial time with unadulterated vulnerability. She made a decision that she never would have predicted, and her story tells the moving but untold part of her journey. "I loved Justin so much," she stated in her letter. "I've always thought that one day we'll have a family. That would just be a lot sooner than I had planned." She had to make a decision in the face of overwhelming odds, and since she respected Timberlake's feelings, it had a significant impact on her own life. But Justin was definitely not happy about the pregnancy, the writer added in her letter. He remarked that we were far too young and not ready to have a baby in our lives. With the release of her eagerly anticipated memoir, The Woman in Me, Britney Spears has finally broken the taboo of quiet. Britney is not holding back when it comes to facing all of the struggles she has had over the years. She has everyone who has harmed her in her crosshairs, even Justin Timberlake. For those of us who grew up in the 1990s, Britney and Justin were the quintessential coupling of that decade. Beneath the sparkle and splendor, however, their relationship was far from ideal. In her book, Britney discloses that she and Justin both acknowledge being unfaithful to one another, just to clear the air. Still, there's a noticeable distinction. Of them, only one. And it wasn't Britney used those errors to launch a career founded on negativity, guilt, and victimization. Following their split, Britney played it cool, never criticizing Justin in public and even going on to say nice things about him. Justin took a different route, publicly criticizing Britney whenever he got the chance for years. He boasted about robbing her of her virginity and divulged personal information. He decided to publicly discredit his ex-girlfriend, who had previously disclosed in multiple interviews that she was delaying having sex in order to prepare for marriage. He said, shockingly, that he had been the one to steal her virginity during their courtship. But folks, this doesn't end here, and the list goes on. He even made fun of her career. Through the pages of her biography, Britney shares a startling fact about the heartbreak she experienced after splitting with Timberlake. She tells that he sent her a chilly, two-word text message saying it's over, suddenly ending their relationship. The biography continues by delving into Britney's well-reported breakdown in 2007, illuminating the reasons behind her choice to shave her head. "Shaving my head and acting out were my ways of pushing back," she says, describing it as a rebellious reaction to the relentless scrutiny she faced. This viewpoint offers insight into the significant psychological strain of celebrity and the remarkable measures she undertook to take back control of her own identity. This revelation also provides us with a moving look into the emotional agony she dealt with at the time, highlighting her incredible fortitude in the face of intense public scrutiny. Here, Justin Timberlake seems to be attempting to defend his abusive actions by saying that Britney's adultery broke his heart. A typical instance of he said, she said. But as the narrative progresses, it becomes evident that Justin had strayed before. As if that weren't stunning enough, there were rumors that Christina Aguilera was one of the ladies he was seeing at the time. Justin publicly denigrated Britney when they called their quits in 2001. He took advantage of every chance to make Britney look bad, most famously in his notorious interview with Barbara Walters. He presented himself as a kind mama's boy from Tennessee who had been duped by a Hollywood diva in that interview. It's important to remember that Britney and Justin separated when they were both 19 years old, a story that was spread among the public. Meanwhile, was far from impartial. Britney faced an overwhelming amount of negative coverage in the media, which painted her as a villain who preyed on Justin, who was gullible and defenseless. In an even more bizarre turn of events, Justin even brought his mother along to the Barbara Walters interview to talk about how Britney had crushed his heart. Justin's weak attempt to embarrass Britney had to be the most embarrassing part of that interview. Justin responded with sarcastic dismissal when Barbara questioned if he and Britney had respected her decision to postpone intercourse until marriage. "Sure," he said before giggling. The fallout from that interview shocked the media and Justin's fan base, which fueled even more animosity toward Britney. Justin, however, persisted in taking advantage of the circumstance for personal benefit. In the music video for Cry Me a River, which included a Britney impersonator, he exacted revenge on his cheating fiancée in December 2002. However, Justin's exploitation continued unabated for years, taking full advantage of this circumstance. Critics compared his 2006 release of What Goes Around comes around to a follow-up to Cry Me a River. It's interesting that he put out this song right after Britney had a string of highly public breakdowns, suggesting that she was mostly to blame for her problems. In his 2018 autobiography Hindsight, Justin discussed his breakup with his ex-girlfriend once more, unable to let go of their history. The story of Britney and Justin is one of unresolved resentment, betrayal, and heartache that never really goes away. "I've been scorned," the writer stated. "I've been really annoyed," he says. Cry Me a River was written in about 2 hours. It was not anything I intended to write. I had to put my intense emotions into words so that others could hear it and, hopefully, be able to relate to it. Timberlake says, "We've all been there. So when I spoke, people heard and understood. The way people treated her to be very high school about it was like she was the school slut, and he was the school quarterback," stated Wesley Morris, a general critic for the New York Times, inframed Britney Spears. It seems like things have flipped over, and now Justin has to take his own medicine. With the release of her eagerly anticipated book, Britney has dropped some significant bombshells. Among these admissions was Britney's admission that Justin had cheated on her first and coerced her into choosing to get an abortion. The world is paying attention as the truth comes to light. Even more heartbreaking is the fact that Britney was unable to even go to a hospital for assistance, since Justin supposedly didn't want anyone to know she was expecting. She therefore used medications to manage the abortion at home. Britney described the pain as unreal, recalling it as one of the most excruciating experiences of her life. Britney discovered later that Justin had cheated on her with other women, which only made matters worse. Spears freely admits to having an affair with choreographer Wade Robson while dating Timberlake. She recalls going out one night and going to a Spanish pub. "We kept dancing. That evening, I made out with him." Britney emphasizes her devotion to Timberlake, despite that one transgression. This realization sheds light on the complex nature of adolescent love and the mistakes that might be made while growing up. Britney describes in her book a situation in which she saw Justin with Nicole Appleton, a female group member from the past called All Saints. Then, Britney made the agonizing decision to omit the name of the other female singer from her book after learning about Justin's relationship with her. Britney did, however, give some hint when she said that this singer is still very popular and has kids. It didn't take long for fans to figure out the connection, and many believe Britney was making reference to Christina Aguilera. In another section of her book, Britney did bring up Christina in reference to the unjust way the media had treated her when she broke up with Justin. At last, the complex network of secrets, heartache, and celebrity drama is starting to come to light. In her biography, "The Woman in Me," the 41-year-old Grammy winner penned. They were together on the cover of Rolling Stone, him in a black tank top, looking at her with sexy eyes, her looking out at the camera, wearing a lace-up black shirt. She stated in that article that she believed Justin and I should reconcile, which was puzzling considering how unkind she had been in other places. Spears isn't afraid to call out Christina Aguilera, her pop rival, for what she sees as insensitivity after her split from Timberlake. Britney was severely hurt by Aguilera's remarks and deeds, especially in relation to the Rolling Stone cover that starred her and Timberlake. It's an open description of the difficulties and complexity that might occur in the very competitive pop music industry. Why did people find it so simple to forget that I was a sensitive human being, worthy of a bruise from these headlines? Spears highlights the significant impact of public image on her emotional well-being and poses important considerations. It serves as a striking reminder of the weight that celebrity and public perception can have on a superstar's life. Christina's reaction to all of this was revealed when she went on Jimmy Kimmel's show before to the publication of Britney's book. Christina attempted to keep a level head when asked if she felt anything about perhaps being featured in Britney's memoir. Nevertheless, it was evident that she was feeling pretty nervous about the circumstances. There is no denying the excitement and curiosity around Britney's disclosures. "Dude, I don't know," she exclaimed. "He's Theo," this moment singer answered. "I don't know. I hope that she is doing well. It's all extremely lovely. We should rejoice in the future. If you had to choose between being in it and not being in it, what would you choose?" Jimmy inquired persistently. She retorted, "I mean, for real. For true, I would like to be in it," was Kimmel's response. The performer of moves like Jagger then remarked, "Perhaps you will be in it." He said, "Listen, I would rather it be you than me." But Christina appeared to have been a fan of Justin Timberlake from the beginning. Christina Aguilera added a sweet twist to their tale during James Corden's Carpool segment on The Late Late Show. Please watch and subscribe to our channel.